Okay, we will get this budget orientation meeting on the road. We'll start with a pledge of allegiance and a roll call. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, Kathy Fallon,
Excused.
Pete Happy.
Here.
Eric Keller,
Yeah, is he excused?
I said he's gonna join online, but I haven't seen him yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Denise Emmeline Baker,
Excused.
Sean Compton,
Excused.
No, his is definitely not
Oh,
excused.
Spain's not a good enough.
No, Spain is definitely not a good enough.
With the newborn, yeah.
Yeah.
Tamara Farrell,
Excused.
Butch Miller,
Also excused.
Tiffany Pruitt,
I am here.
Gwen Zonziger,
Here.
Bernard Ziegler,
Here.
Karen Syke,
Here.
Mary Ann Bump,
Here.
Connie Bataccio.
Here.
And there's Eric. There we go. Okay. Eric, we just finished roll call, so we're gonna get going into the presentation.
Sounds good.
Okay. All right, this should go pretty quickly. We don't have any new budget members. Really, this was to get the budget in everybody's hand, but just do kind of a basic recap of how the budget process works. So I should be able to get through this pretty quick, get you guys your evening back fairly soon here. So this is adapted from the state training that the state budget office, what is that office? I don't remember now, but anyways, come from the state. We will start with, next slide, so the budget process. And the city council appoints a budget officer, and that has traditionally been the city administrator for Cascade Locks. It's also in the city administrator's job description. The budget officer prepares the budget. They work with department heads to review expected remaining resources and requirements for the current year and build a proposed budget with expected resources and requirements for the next fiscal year. Publish notices to budget committee meetings. The budget officer publishes notices for the meeting. For this year, they will be posted for the Columbia Gorge News on May 1st and on the city's website starting today, April 24th. The budget committee then holds their meetings. The first meeting for us will be Wednesday, May 8th. Let's see here. The budget committee then meets. After that, if additional meetings are needed to finish reviewing and approving the budget, all that is needed is normal meeting notice timeline, which is 24 hours. And typically, this group meets once a week with time lapse. Then again, publish notices and summary for the budget hearing. So once the budget committee approves the budget, it then goes to a public hearing at the council level. It must be published a minimum of 5 days before the budget hearing. So once that is done, I will put notices out. Hopefully, if everything goes smoothly, it will be the first council meeting in June. That's cool. The council then holds the budget hearing. Council has to adopt the budget by June 30th, and then the budget officer must submit it to the county by July 15th for verification. All right, now the basics. What is a budget? Budget is a financial plan. It is not a financial statement. It is what guides the city and the staff on how to spend city's funds. It covers one fiscal year for Cascade Locks, that is July 1 through June 30th. It is based on the estimate of revenues and expenditures and other requirements. The budget is for all appropriations, which creates the authority to spend public money. Any questions so far? Okay, yeah, pretty straightforward. Okay, resources versus requirements. Resources are cash on hand and any anticipated receipts. That includes property tax, utility rates, charges, or fees. Requirements are any expenditures, payroll, materials and services, debt services, also any intertransfer funds or any reserves held for future or contingency needs. Estimating of resources and requirements are detailed in each line. All resources and requirements must be budgeted. All resources and requirements must be balanced. Estimates of resources and requirements are made in good faith. Budget committee meetings. All budget committee meetings are subject to public meeting law. That means budget committee members cannot meet outside of a public meeting setting to discuss the budget. A presiding officer must be elected at the first meeting. Cascade Locks has traditionally provided or elected a chair and a vice chair. A quorum, majority of the committee is required to conduct business. And the committee may request and receive additional information from city officials.
Just make sure so our majority is gonna be eight.
Yep, that's the next slide. Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, quorum. There must be a quorum of budget committee members for a meeting and discussion to occur. The Cascade Locks Budget Committee is 14 members, 7 members of council, and 7 appointed committee members. At least 8 members of the committee must be present for business to happen. The mixture of councilors and committee does not matter. It could be all 7 councilors and 1 community member, or it could be the other way around. As long as 8 people are here, we can do business. Okay, what does the budget committee do? It receives the budget document. It hears the budget message, hears and considers public comment, approval of the property tax rate, discuss and revise the budget as needed, and approve the budget. The budget is a public document when released to the committee and is available for the public at the same time. The budget will be released today and provided on April 24th. A hard copy is available up front at City Hall, and city will print a copy for members of the public for the cost of the city's copy fee. The budget message, prepared by and under the direction of the city administrator, explains budget document, describes financial policies, explains any changes since last year, and it must be in writing. Hear public comments. The committee will hold a public comment period on the date and time in the published notice. Any person may ask questions and comment on the budget. The committee can establish timelines and other policies for public comment period. The council uses a 5-minute limit for public comments right now, just for reference. All right. Approve the property tax rate. Cascade Locks is permanent tax rate is $2.70 per $1,000 of assessed value. Cascade Locks that I'm aware of has never taken less than that. They've always approved taking 100%. So, and then up here is an example of a motion to approve that amount. Okay, then the big one, actually discuss and review the budget. Discuss and revise proposed budget if the majority feels necessary. They may reduce or increase estimates of resources and requirements, may approve budget at the first meeting, or it may take several meetings. Additional meetings may provide same notice as regular public meetings, 24 hours. Okay, and then lastly, they approve the budget, and here's a sample motion, a motion that the budget committee of Cascade Locks approve the budget for 24-25 fiscal year in the amount of $14,527,257, as an example. And then our last slide, our first budget meeting will be Wednesday, May 8th at 6:30 in this room as well as on Zoom. Everybody has access to the book, to the budget book. I do ask you to review it as soon as you can and get me all your questions as quickly as possible. That way I can answer them and get questions and your answers out to the whole group to streamline the process so the budget meetings themselves move smoothly and aren't 4-hour marathons. So, any questions? Like I said, this is gonna be a relatively quick meeting.
So
Do we have the meeting plan for the other meetings, or is it?
The agenda,
Well, we've got one on the 8th. What are the other, are there other ones?
typically every Wednesday, after following that.
Okay,
We have this room booked, but again, depends on this group, what they want to set that date as.
Okay.
If we can get it done in one night, that'd be fantastic, but,
Good luck. Just saying, good luck.
yeah, but typically it's been every Wednesday.
So, and I think last year, if I remember, served me correctly, we had a full night the first night, but then the second one went pretty quick.
We actually had
Three,
three,
we had 3 or 4 nights,
Three or
because
four.
there was so much that was changing
Yes.
around, so we had to.
Okay.
and we're about a month ahead of schedule from last year, so we have time.
I mean, for what it's worth, I kind of like breaking up into meetings, at least 2.
Yeah.
So my reading isn't overwhelming, you know, it's nice to say, okay, I'm gonna take tab, whatever, 1 through whatever, and focus on those and not read the whole thing, just what I'm gonna do for the 8th, so.
We can do
I don't know
that,
if the
yeah,
group could come to an agreement on something like that.
yeah, we can do that at the first meeting and set that schedule.
And I'm gonna suggest that people go through, and when they go through their budget, that I noticed that on the first page of each section, the header bars are up there, but then they don't follow through onto the second page, so I would suggest everybody go through and put those in, so that, because it's gonna be very confusing trying to figure out which column we're gonna be looking at.
So that again,
So on the, so if you go to section 15, you'll see on the first page, go to section 15, I'll just use that for an example, because that's where I'm at. So you go on the first page, and you see across the top, it says actual, 2022, 2021 actual, 2022 actual, and then when you go to the second page, those, they're not on the second page, so.
Second page, so you can't tell which one.
Yeah, so if everybody could just go through and mark those, so you know where we're at when we get to the second page, it'd be easy,
is that something we can revise for future budgets?
Yeah.
Jordan?
I think he's.
Just the header tabs?
We
turn
can,
on that
yeah.
Page? I don't think it makes sense to reprint this year's, obviously,
Yeah.
but,
No.
yeah, if I could, well, it's fresh in our mind, I think that was an issue last year too.
Yeah. Well, there was a lot of issues last year. Wow, look at you go. Well, we're done. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like I knew that.
Wow.
Well, unless there's any more questions, we can adjourn this.
Just to clarify, reconciliations, where are we with reconciliations?
I have to double check what month we're on, but I think we're caught up.
We're pretty caught up.
I'll double check, though, yeah.
Audits only for
Correct,
still,
which is being done this week.
but, you feel like we're in a better place than last year as far as looking at that picture.
Yes, oh gosh, yes, yeah. Yeah,
And then when we appoint our chair, is
at
that
the first meeting, it's essentially the first act at the first meeting.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
Before you leave tonight, I just love introductions again. I'm Denise, I'm Baker. Sorry, I teach a college class until 6:45.
Look
The,
at you, you were screaming.
there was it's 5 to, oh, it's 5 to 7:45, but I let the kids out early. I mean, they're working the final. So they all present next week. I won't be late on the 8th. Anyway, so the Denise, I'm Baker, city councilor.
I'm Connie DeCasio.
Thank you.
When?
When?
Bernard, your neighbor.
You know me.
I know, and I'm sorry, I've forgotten your name.
Karen Syke.
Apparently, we're
also
neighbors.
Also neighbor,
Yeah,
yeah.
I would think I was your end, but and it's Jeff
He's
Tan.
in the corner.
He knows so many people here, so he's trying to get off duty.
Oh.
He's a PTSD recommends stuck the victim of a bad friend.
Are we missing our 7th community member? or-
That spot is vacant.
So we only have 6.
Correct.
Got it. Thank you.
Who are you missing so much? Kate?
Okay, so as far as next meeting goes, is there a place we can cut this in half to say, our goal would be to hit this point? You see what I'm asking?
Yeah, I mean, I don't have my book with me.
I would suggest they come with a suggestion for us.
Yeah.
Well, I don't wanna study it.
But the thing is, if we're meeting next week, I would like to give.
No, next week, we have 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Oh, 2 weeks. Oh, so you can do an email
Yeah,
Yeah.
proposing that. Okay, that's fine.
It's
Thanks.
not right the front page, right the front page, the very first page. Very first page. No, you just turn to go back. Right there.
Feel like
Oh,
do
the
the
review
first-
funds, right there.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or 6 ones, whatever.
Yeah, here's all the funds right here, so draw a line. So
Oh, yeah, I see what you're saying. Okay.
It seemed like last year, I remember we moved through things, like it was really slow and then like,
some things are more difficult
Yeah.
than others. General fund, the general fund and
electric are the two.
electric are gonna be the.
Well, fire and EMS usually is I don't know, that
Yeah.
can be challenging as well.
Oh, yeah.
Fire and EMS.
Yeah, so, I
But-
mean, there's some more challenging than others.
Anyway,
So,
yes,
I mean,
that,
cemetery.
okay, so if you'll email it that, thank you, that would be
Yeah,
great.
I'll see if I can find a good middle point.
All right. Okay,
we need to move to adjourn then?
No.
Yep.
We
Yeah, we can just adjourn.
Okay.
Yeah, all right, meeting ended. Thank you, everybody.
I have this great fear, we're never allowed to adjourn budget meetings because we might have to come back and make a correction after we approved everything, so we never adjourn. It's always